Remember when getting shrimp cocktail at a restaurant meant you were living large?
Or how about when that one friend had cable and a color TV? Man, they were like royalty. Tonight, we're going to talk about the luxuries and what we thought were luxuries as kids and growing up. So I hope you're entertained by this and hope you can add some stuff.
So welcome to the Unretired AF podcast. Well, hello and welcome to our Unretired AF podcast, the podcast created especially for the over 60 rabble rouser crowd. And today we are going to be talking about things that we thought were fancy growing up. So let's see here.
We got a comment.
The things we thought were fancy. Yeah, I see that. Hello, Angela.
Hi, Angela.
So glad to see you tonight. And Jim is writing your name and putting it into the mug. I feel lucky for you tonight, and I think it's going to be your night. All right. We're going to start with our first topic in this things we thought were fancy, and the fancy things at home. Did you see that, Ange? Jim put it in there. Got your name in there. All right, the fancy things at home. Let's talk about that. So, what was one of the fanciest things your family owned growing up? Yep, it's in there. Yep, we got it in there. How about you, Jim? What was something fancy you had growing up?
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. We get your name in the mug for the drawing.
Well, let's see. For me, I can remember.
Trailer. Okay. What were you going to say?
I can remember when we got our first color TV, and I can remember when we got our first microwave.
All right.
And that was some drama, man. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you have to tell it. Make it a short Reader's Digest version, but it's pretty funny.
Short Reader's Digest version. My dad, I grew up in the military. And I guess at the base exchange, they had this countertop microwave, and like right now, it looked like it was big, man. It was big and it was heavy and
like the size of a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah, good bug. Well, my mom loved loved popcorn.
You got to get Sharon in the.
Hi, Sharon.
Bug. All right, we'll get caught up with your comments here. You are in the mug, Sharon. All right.
So anyway, she proceeded to pull out a Jiffy Pop and put it in the microwave and put the little card thing in of how long it was for popcorn, and
that is no good.
The old magnetron tube blew up,
and
the thing caught on fire. And my dad, I'll never forget the look on his face, and he's like, "Hun, what did you just do?" And I mean, he was like, "Do we call the fire department? Do we unplug it? What do we do?"
Oh,
it was something.
That was hilarious. All right, we're gonna take.
It was like at that time, I think it was like $1,200.
Yeah.
Oh, it was very expensive.
They were really expensive. All right, so Ange says a trailer. All right, are we talking like a mobile home trailer, or are we talking like a travel trailer? And then Dawn says, we never had fancy stuff. Oh, we never had fancy stuff either. We're just talking about what we thought was fancy. That's a big difference.
Right.
Angela says, we didn't have fancy stuff either. Oh, we didn't have fancy stuff either. I mean, for a lot of my life, my mom was a single mom. And whoa, my earring just fell off. That's weird.
Dawn says her husband remembers getting indoor plumbing.
Hang on. We haven't gotten there yet. I'm getting there. All right. Sharon says, me too. Me too. Hi, guys. Dawn says, my husband remembers getting indoor plumbing. Okay, I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess that would be. Yeah, that would be. What state did he grow up in, Dawn? My mom was from Kentucky and they didn't have indoor plumbing. And let's see here. Let's see. Sharon says, well, nobody knew aluminum can't go in there at that time. Well, that's true. They really didn't know, did they? All right. Angela says, mobile home, LOL. Hey, you know what? Nothing wrong with that. Dawn says, Maine. Okay. Yep. All right. So we weren't fancy. I don't think hardly any of us were fancy. I'm trying to think if my mom had fancy stuff. I mean, the only fancy stuff I remember really having is my mom had like little tchotchke Hummels and Royal Dalton little tchotchkes, little figurines, and you know, she kept them in the curio cabinet. They were fancy. We weren't allowed to touch them. Hi, Tony. All right, Tony says we got video game Pong back in the day. Yep, we did too. We did too. That was fancy. All right, Tony, you are in the mug. Is our sound okay, guys? Can you hear us okay? All right, next question. Did anyone have the good room or the good couch that you weren't allowed to sit on? Oh, and Angela's asking, oh wait, whoops, I'm on the wrong one. Angela's asking, do you mean the one you played on the TV? That's what I'm thinking, Angela. Oh, everybody says we can hear pretty good. Okay, thank you. And Tony says, yes, black and white TV probably too. Probably, you know, I think when we had the Pong game, I think we got it in like 1975. And I remember it was we had the color TV. We were, I guess we were fancy. I don't know. Sharon says, my husband's grandma kept the plastic on her couch and lamps. My grandmother on my dad's side did too. And she had plastic runners that went down the hall. Oh yeah. And you had to stay on the runner. You couldn't actually walk on the real carpet. You had to stay on the plastic and sit on the plastic. And in the summer, I'm from Illinois, and you sit on that plastic in shorts and you got to peel your leg off to get up. Let's see. Whoops, I keep going to the wrong one. Angela says, what? We had black and white forever. Oh, you did? How long was it before you got color TV, Angela? I think we got color TV in the 70s, because I remember watching I Dream of Jeannie, and I remember like her little outfit was pink. So I remember that. All right. Did you have a good room or no? Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we already, living room. Oh, right. The living room was the good room. We had the living room. I mean, I'll say this question. I think we already talked about it. Remember when plastic slip covers were a thing? Who had those? I think we already talked about that. I think the only time we were allowed in the living room that's where my mother put the tree up for Christmas. Oh. That's where Christmas celebrations happened. Angela says must have been late 70s when they got their first color TV. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we're talking about, I think I'm talking about 76, 77. So it would have been, you know, when we had color TV. And Angela says, yes, on slip covers. Yes, I mean, they were just terrible. They were just terrible. I mean, especially if you lived anywhere with humidity. All right. Next question. What home upgrade made you feel like you'd made it? Microwave, waterbed, color TV? I mean, I remember for myself in high school, I thought I was big time when I bought a waterbed from Sun Valley Waterbeds in Tempe. And I had my first waterbed, and it didn't have any baffles. It was one of the old ones where you get in and you're just like surfing. Yeah, it was like that. But I thought I was fancy. Oh, Angela said, She lived in Missouri. Okay, so you know how it was back then. It was very similar to Illinois, right next door neighbors. All right. Any home upgrade that made you feel like you'd made it? Like back then, even if you got it when you moved out or whatever. Anything you can think of?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Maybe these are sucky questions tonight. I hope not. All right. Sharon says, we had a tidal wave waterbed when we first got married. Is that the kind what I'm talking about with no baffles, where you get in it? And I mean, you can get in it on one side and your partner can be popped out on the other side. Is that what you mean by the tidal wave, Sharon? That's how mine was. It did not have any baffles in it. That kind. She says that kind. Yep, that's the kind we had too. All right. Next one. What was your first grown-up purchase that made you proud? That you made on your own? Anybody?
That I made on my own?
Yeah.
Boat.
Okay. Okay.
Boat and motor.
Is that when you went to Mobile?
Yeah.
So tell that story a little bit.
So 13 years old, went to Mobile Boat Show with my next door neighbor.
Okay.
He and I were real tight. I also worked for his dad. Nothing like child labor laws then, but he was a home builder. So we did whatever it took to help out. Well, we, for about a year, my neighbor and I, we did everything we could. We mowed grass, we shrimped, we oystered, we did a whole bunch of stuff and went to the Mobile Boat Show. And
how old are you?
13 at the time.
13. And you've taken the truck?
We stole.
How did you get there?
We stole one of the company trucks that we knew we could pull the boat back with. And so we get there, we found a boat, a 24-foot chaparral, and the guy wouldn't sell it to us.
No.
He refused to sell it to us. Said we stole the money, whatever. And so he said, I'm going to call your father. Well, my dad was in Vietnam. And so we called my buddy's dad. And he said, boys, I can't, on the phone, I remember him saying, chewing on my buddy. And then he said, I'll be there as soon as I can. So 2 hours later, he shows up and just went crazy on the guy that wouldn't sell us the boat. But he took the cash from him. And so we got our boat.
And you drove it back?
And we drove it back. And his dad, I secretly think his dad was so proud of us for being able to do that.
Yeah.
And
working hard.
Man, we had a great time in that boat for a number of years.
That's really, really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. All right. Don says, I'll tell you once I get it. That's funny. Sharon says, my second car, a 69 Camaro.
All right.
That's a nice car.
Hideaway headlights?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Did the 69 have that?
Yeah.
Did it have
I'm asking.
I know. Does it have the hideaway headlights, Sharon? My favorite car was the 69 or 70 Chevy Chevelle. I like that one. Camaros were awesome too. I know they're your favorite. All right. Anybody else have a purchase that made them feel really grown up or even sort of fancy? I mean, I think for me, I've always liked jewelry, and I remember like buying a birthstone ring and I saved up and put on layaway and bought, and I felt pretty fancy with that. So, all right. Now we're going to go on to the second section. This one's been not that great popular. Hopefully this one will be better. Food that felt fancy. Oh, let me take that one off. Food that felt fancy. All right. So let's look at what foods back then made us feel fancy. Okay. What meal or dish made you feel like a high roller back in the day? I mean, for us, it was steak. I mean, I grew up poor. So for us, if we could have steak, that was like big deal. I mean, we ate a lot of hamburger, a lot of buttock meat. If any of you guys know what buttock meat is, that we ate a lot of that. My mom would make the SOS with toast and the white gravy and chop up the buttock meat in it. We ate a lot of Spam. We ate a lot of hot dogs. We ate a lot of, a lot of food that you eat when you're, when you don't have a lot. So if we could ever have steak, that was big time for us.
And I grew up on the ocean, so I always had fish
Angela
or
says-
shrimp or oysters or
Gotcha.
crabs, always.
Angela says corn dogs. LOL. You know what? I can see how that could be fancy if you went to the fair, because we would go to the state fair and they do that, once they dip right there while you're at the, at the, like the carny, truck or whatever at the state fair. And they were the best corn dogs. So, those were really good.
So corn dogs with just mustard on it or mustard and mayonnaise?
Oh, look who's here. Hello from India. Hello, Leanne and Chan. How awesome that you joined. Your name's gonna go in the mug because we're giving them away. We have a couple different kinds, but you can go on our store and pick out if you win. We're putting your name in the mug and we'll draw a name at the end. So welcome. Yeah, Leanne and Chan spend 6 months of the year in India, and there's 6 months here in the US. So check out their channel. It's really an amazing channel.
It is.
Yeah. In fact, I caught up on your videos today, and they were awesome. All right. Let's go to the next question. This is, hopefully you guys remember this one. Remember when fondue was a thing? Did you guys do fondue? My mom had a fondue pot, and she would make chocolate fondue and chop up like pound cake, Sara Lee pound cake, and strawberries and marshmallows and stuff. And we would do fondue. We thought we were super fancy with the fondue. And then, I think I went to a fondue restaurant. There's like a melting pot. You guys have a melting pot? And they do the cheese fondue. Yes. Yes, that's exactly right, Angela.
And that would be what?
Cheese fondue.
It'd be bread, pieces of meat.
I think we only had it with bread at there. Yeah. Let's see. Sharon says, "Oh, I do remember fondue. I was at a party when I was a kid and knocked over the fondue pot onto the carpet."
Oh.
Well, those are the things that we remember.
It is.
It's like those are the things we remember.
Oh no!
I remember my sister we were at not related to fondue, but we were at a friend's house for dinner when we were kids, and she had a plate of spaghetti, and she turned really fast. And all the spaghetti
slid right off.
It flew off behind the fridge at the house. Oh my God. Sharon says, I wore the hat of shame. Oh my gosh. But those make fun memories. Those kind of things happen. Yeah, but we've never been, we've wanted to go a couple times to that melting pot.
Yeah.
They have a melting pot here in Ahwatukee, Arizona, which is it's a neighborhood of Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's not its own city. And but we just never have made it.
We haven't.
Just never made it. So I don't know. I don't know if I would feel full from fondue. Do you think, how much fondue can you eat? I don't know.
Depends on, I guess, if it's multiples.
I guess.
If there's regular and then dessert.
Right. All right. Was shrimp cocktail fancy back then? Shrimp cocktail was super fancy from where I'm from in Illinois. And with the cocktail sauce and on the little glass with the shredded lettuce and all that. Super fancy. Now Jim, where he's from, what's your experience with the with the
we'd go to we'd go down to the beach, pull our seine net, get a whole bunch of them, boil them, and have shrimp cocktail.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So that wasn't fancy for you, too.
No.
All right. Leanne says, cheese balls rolled in nuts served with rich crackers or with sliced olives. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep, the cheese balls. I've made so many cheese balls. They're so good. That's right. Those are excellent. Sharon says, too fancy for my pants. Yeah, they were pretty fancy for us too. I mean, honestly, we only really ever had shrimp cocktail if we went to company's house, or we had a few relatives that were a little bit richer. Let's see.
So Chan,
she said shrimp cocktail.
Is seafood popular in India? Where you guys are?
Yeah, do you guys? I don't know if it's just you, Leanne, or if it's both of you, but do you guys eat a lot of seafood there where you are? That would be interesting to know.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, she'll answer. All right. Was there any restaurant that you dreamed of going to? Oh, they say okay.
In parts of India?
She says in parts of India, he said. And then
oh god, okay. In the south,
in the south, there in the north. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so what restaurant did you dream of going to when, back then in the 60s, 70s, even the 80s? Were there any restaurants that you dreamed of going to?
Well, like where I grew up, the top restaurant that you'd like go to big time things was a place called Mary Mahoney's.
Okay.
And it was upscale.
Okay.
Upscale place.
Okay. Sharon says, I'm in a landlocked state, unfortunately. Yeah, I was too in Illinois. So if we had any seafood, it was probably questionable. Not that great. Okay. Leanne and Chan say, Charlie's in Minneapolis. What kind of food was that? Was it like a steakhouse? Sounds kind of like a steakhouse name. I think for me, it was I'm trying to think. We didn't really do anything fancy. I didn't do any fancy dining when I was a kid. But when I was a young adult and I moved to California, there was a place in Pasadena, California, the Northwoods Inn.
No.
And it was a steakhouse, and it was so good. I don't know if it's still there anymore, but it was so good. All right. Leanne says that Charlie's in Minneapolis was a steakhouse, posh and expensive. Yeah. Yeah. And Sharon says, Molly Murphy's in Oklahoma City. What kind of food was that? Molly Murphy's. That sounds
Irish.
Yeah, it does. It sounds Irish. And Angela says, where are you located, Sharon? Sharon says, I don't know, too rich for my blood. I don't think she's answering Angela. I think she's talking about, what kind of food Molly Murphy's had. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, and she's from Oklahoma. Okay. All right. Sharon is from Oklahoma. All right. All right. Maybe we'll get some more response on this one. What was considered company food at your house? Every time we had company over, my mom's go-to thing was lasagna. She would make lasagna with cottage cheese, as the filling. That was her thing.
So I always knew when people were coming over, when the deviled eggs were being made, the sweet gherkins were put on
with olives.
With olives, yeah. Yep. And
she had like a little relish tray out.
A relish tray, yeah.
Gotcha.
My mom was big into celery with onion dip. Oh, and then of course onion dip.
Well, not just party food, but like if they had dinner parties. Did she ever have anybody over for dinner?
Of course, okay. Yes.
And what did she make?
I mean, lasagna was a big time one. That would be big. It just really depended on what my mother loved to make Asian food. Oh. She loved to make like sweet and sour pork and that kind of stuff.
That was pretty popular back then to make that. Yeah, my mom made that too.
And then we always had seafood.
Okay.
So
Leanne and Chan say, remember the Curtis Hotel in Minneapolis? That was so fancy. Oh, I'm not that familiar. I've only been to Minneapolis, I think, only once, I think, when we went to what was that one called? That place?
Stillwater.
Stillwater. We went to Stillwater, and one of our friends invited us out to stay in Stillwater a few years ago, probably been about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It was fun. Okay. Angela says, sandwiches cut fancy with the crust cut off and little snacks with it, like veggies for dipping. Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Leanne says, Stillwater, that's fancy. Oh, is it? Is Stillwater fancy? Okay. I didn't know. I mean, it seemed kind of fancy. It was beautiful. I mean, we were there. We saw, we were on what is the river there called?
What is the name of that river there? It separates Wisconsin
what was it?
It's called
Well, we were on that river, and and we saw some bald eagles, and it was really an amazing trip. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So let's see what else.
St. Croix River?
I think that's right.
St. Croix River.
I think that's right. All right. Not the Fox River. Yeah, I think that's right. I think Sharon said the Fox River. I don't think so. That's not right.
Yeah, it was the St. Croix.
And Leanne and Chancy the St. Croix. Yeah, that's what it was. All right. What fancy food back then makes you laugh now? Is there anything that you had that was fancy that you thought was fancy? I think that one of the things we thought were fancy, I don't think it is at all fancy, but was my mom would make these very intricate Jell-O molds with all kind of shit in different layers, sometimes vegetables, sometimes fruit, and it was weird, but it looked fancy. I don't know.
Well, now, I mean,
and we can definitely laugh about those Jell-O molds now.
Any store you go to, you can buy, shrimp in the round, so you can have shrimp cocktail anytime that's frozen,
and it's about $10, or $15. It's not too much for a small one. Yeah.
And you love your fish sticks.
You know what? I grew up on fish sticks. He makes fun of me for my fish sticks because that's what I grew up on. I grew up on fish sticks. I grew up on tater tots, and
I like tater tots.
I mean, we just didn't. I mean, we had freshwater fish where I'm from in Illinois, and then my grandparents would go fishing in Minnesota once a year and bring back fish. But the problem is that, well, it's one of two things. Either, and I'm not sure which it is, either the fish were really bony, or the people weren't very good at filleting them because the fish were really bony. So I was always scared, and we always had a loaf of Wonder Bread around when we're eating fish, because if you get a bone stuck in your throat, you got to wad up a ball of Wonder Bread, take the crust off, wad up the soft part, and eat it and hope that it, But I've had to have my family members go to the hospital to get fish bones stuck, pulled out of stuck in their throat. So I wasn't real big on it. Where fish sticks were pretty much minced fish, no bones.
Gotcha.
So that worked for me. All right. Angela says, I'm going to make myself some crab legs after this. There you go. And she says, oh, by the way, happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to you.
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Happy Veterans Day to you, Angela. Thank you so much. And anybody else that we've got on the channel that served, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your service. And Sharon says, oh, I remember that about bread getting a bone unstuck. Isn't that weird? That's just a weird shared memory, isn't it? Of that. But so I was a little gun shy of the freshwater fish because of the bones. So when Jim and I got together, he was a big fish person, and I was not, because of that. But he's shown me the difference between freshwater fish and saltwater fish, and the nice fillets, and I've never had a bone stuck. I've never even bitten on a bone when we had fish. So thank you for that. You've helped me with my fish trauma.
There you go. Good. Angela
says, yeah, I remember hearing that too about bread. Yeah,
it works.
It I guess it's a universal solution.
Yeah.
Wonder Bread. It's what keeps them in business these days, right?
I guess.
All right. All right. Now we're on to the next section. Maybe we'll like this one better. The cars, clothes, and gadgets of glamour. All the stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. There was a lot of cars, clothes, and gadgets of glamour back then.
Yeah.
All right. What car made you feel rich just sitting in it? I mean, I can say for me, anything that was less than 5 years old made me feel rich because we always had old cars. We didn't have new cars.
For me, undoubtedly, was a Cadillac.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sharon says bell bottoms for sure. Bell bottoms. I mean, that was before I said the question.
Oh,
Before I said the question, the things that made you feel fancy from the cars, clothes, and gadgets section. Yeah. So it was for you. It was what?
a Cadillac.
A Cadillac?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't
That
know
was
anybody.
like-
I didn't know anybody who had a Cadillac. You had friends who had Cadillacs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You were fancy.
Oh.
Oh, here we go. Angela says, "Oh, don't worry about it, Sharon. That don't be sorry." Angela says, "My mom got a Delta 88 the last year they made convertibles. I loved it when I got to drive it."
All right.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Convertibles were awesome. They were awesome. And she says it was red with white interior leather seats. That is fancy. That's nice. That's wonderful. No, I mean, I remember our car growing up. I mean, you had to be careful. My mom made us sit really far back. This is before seatbelts, because the floorboards were, it's Illinois. It's everything's rusted out. You could see the road. You could see the road, and rain could splash up if you hit a puddle. So no, we didn't have fancy. Angela says about the Delta 88. Me and my sister took it cruising. LOL. That's hilarious.
That's great.
That's great. That's wonderful. When I was in high school, my parents did get a Ford LTD Brougham with electric windows, and they let me drive it only because I was older than my sister. And as soon as I got my driver's license, they made me take her everywhere. So I became the chauffeur, and so I got to drive the Ford LTD Brougham with the electric windows.
Wow.
I know. That was pretty fancy. All right. What fashion item or accessory made you feel classy? Platform shoes, gold chains, fur coat. We know that Sharon had her bell bottoms. Angela says, now I feel rich just sitting in my 2025 Chevy Blazer. Well, you should. That's nice. That's a nice vehicle. That's awesome. Sharon says, my sister, her friends, and I would drag Maine in her convertible. Yeah, we did that too. I went to Mesa High School in Mesa, Arizona. We moved from Illinois between my sophomore and junior year. And so in Mesa, all the kids would drag race on Main Street, and I would drag race that LTD.
So Sharon, was there a Sonic on the Main Street? Where I grew up, there was a Sonic. Everybody would go down Main and then do a loop through Sonic and then go the other way.
See, we didn't have Sonic in Illinois where I'm from.
Oh.
Maybe they had them in Oklahoma where she's from. I don't know.
Yes.
Angela says, me and my sister used to put inserts in our jeans to make them bell bottoms. Yeah, I remember people would do that. They would take and pick the seam, going up, and then add like a triangle.
Oh.
And then sew it back together. And yeah, we did that too. That was very fancy. And Sharon says, oh yes, I'm guessing that was the Sonic. Yep. She says Sonic was almost the only fast food place back then. Gosh, we didn't have that. We had a Wendy's and we had a Dairy Queen.
Oh.
But it wasn't a Dairy Queen Brazier. It was only open in the summer.
So
and a Pizza Hut, but it wasn't fast food.
Our big fashion statement,
okay,
when I was in high school was everybody wore flip-flops, but if you were like big time and you had colored oyster boots. That was like, man, you had made it. You'd
that's
done pretty good.
funny. That's funny. Oh,
Colored rubber boots.
Angela says A&W. Yeah, we had A&W too. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
we didn't have that.
But you know what? They were a restaurant. They weren't a fast food.
Okay.
Back where I'm from in Illinois, it wasn't fast food until later. But that was cool. Well, and I remember when I was a freshman in high school for Christmas, my parents got me a rabbit fur coat.
Oh,
For
wow.
Christmas. And I thought I was like Ginger from Gilligan's Island. I was so glamorous with my rabbit fur coat.
Now, we had both a Pizza Inn and a Pizza Hut
Did you?
on our main street, too. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, and I wore platform shoes. I loved platform shoes back then. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Angela says, we used to go to the Rock Roll Arena. They had a sock hop on Friday nights. After skating, there would be a live band and dancing.
Oh, wow.
That sounds really fun. That sounds great. We didn't have that. My town was only 10,000 people, so you were much fancier.
We had bonfires on the beach.
Oh yeah. And Sharon says, "How fun, Angela." That does sound really fun. That does sound really fun. All right. Seems to be mostly ladies' night tonight, huh?
Yeah, it sure is.
We had a few. We had Tony, and I can't remember who all we had.
That's it.
Okay, who remembers the first friend with a remote control TV? I think before we had a remote control TV, that wouldn't have been until cable. That would have been in the 80s.
Yeah.
And my parents had it, but I was already moved out. We didn't have it. We didn't have that.
That was kind of the box, the big cable box.
Oh, right. But I thought it had a remote.
Where you turned your TV to channel 3 and everything ran
Right.
through the box.
Angela said, I think the town I grew up in only had about 4,000 people. Wow. And you had a Rock Roll Arena? Oh, I thought it was a Orama. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Rock Roll Arena. Wow. With only 4,000 people. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had bowling alley. We had that. All right. Sharon says, no idea about that in terms of who had the remote control. Yeah. This is kind of a boring question too. Remember when getting cable in the 80s was fancy? I mean, it was fancy. MTV and all that. Angela says, me and my sister were the remote control. My mom would whistle and expect us to come out of our room and change the channel. Isn't that the truth? And we had to watch whatever they wanted to watch. It was like they made it very clear it was their TV, and we were only just allowed to watch it if they were watching something. But we didn't have control of the TV for sure. That's so funny. All right. Oh, Tony's back. I remember the corded cable remote with a long slider switch my parents had. A corded cable remote? I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
A slider switch. I seem to remember a slider switch. Was the slider switch for changing the channel, or was that for the volume?
I don't remember the corded remote.
You know, I'm having a memory. I think somebody I knew had that. Sharon says, I never had cable. Yeah, I mean, my parents had cable. I didn't have cable. Oh, Angela says, I never had cable either. Yeah, I mean, I think most of us didn't get cable, but my parents got cable because my dad loved watching CNN or was that like the first big news channel? I think it was, right?
Close, yep.
Oh, and then Sharon says, Sharon says, just DishNet, Dish TV. Dawn says, we didn't either. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have cable either. Tony says the channel changer, but vaguely recall it. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, huh? I can't remember all that stuff either. but it was a channel changer with the slider. Okay. All right. Next question. What's a gadget you couldn't wait to show off? I mean, I wasn't a show off. Trying to remember if I got anything that I was really excited for people to see. I mean, I rented a VCR because they rented them back then.
Oh, I remember the gadget. So I grew up in a pecan orchard, and my dad bought a pecan picker, and it was like this big brush.
What are you talking about?
This big brush that you pushed on, and it would it raked up the pecans. Yeah.
Wow. I'm just not from a state that has nuts like that, so I just don't even.
Okay.
That's funny. That's funny to me. Okay. Angela said, "My stepdad liked watching the beer go from his hand to his mouth." LOL. Yeah, that was unfortunately, that's true. Angela says, "That's fancy, Jim." It is fancy, isn't it? A pecan harvester?
It was like a sweeper.
Oh, okay.
And it was about 3 foot wide. It had brushes on it.
Okay.
And you pushed it underneath the trees.
Okay.
And it would throw the pecans in a basket in the back.
Wow.
It looked like a real lawnmower.
Okay.
But it was to pick up pecans.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm fancy pants.
You are fancy pants. You know what? I didn't have any fancy gadgets either. I mean, I didn't even have a cell phone until I was in my 40s. I think it was like, and then I didn't have a smartphone until you and I met because I didn't want one, and then you bought me an iPhone, which was nice of you. But I wasn't an early adopter on that. I can't remember anything. Probably the weirdest gadget I ever got, this would have been in the 80s, was an epilady. Any of you ladies get an epilady? I got one for Christmas. I was so excited. And then I tried it and I was no longer excited because it was not fun at all. All right. All right. Here's one. Maybe we'll get some answers here. Did any of you sell Amway or Tupperware or Mary Kay or Avon and thinking, because they always would make you feel like you could get rich? Angela says, I got my first cell phone because we were given a week off, but had to be by the phone in case they called us back in. Ah, gotcha. Well, if they want you to be on call, they have to give you the phone, right?
Yeah.
So.
Sharon never had an epilady.
Nope, never had an epilady. Well, you were saved from the pain. Because basically it was a spinning spring and you put it on your leg and it would just rip the hairs out.
Man.
That's what it was. It was not good. All right. Sharon says, nope, didn't sell it, but bought Avon from other people. All right. Angela says, never sold that stuff. Angela says, they didn't give me the phone. I had to buy it myself. Are you kidding? Wow. If they expect you to be on call, you'd think they would at least provide the phone. Well, I'm sorry about that. And Sharon says, LOL, safe from the pain. I mean, it seriously was. It was the worst Christmas present because it was a Christmas present. And that's what I really wanted. And it was painful, that epilady. Angela says, it was in the military. Yeah, I figured that. But they should still give you the phone, I think, if they want you to be on call, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's not always what we want, right? All right. We're going to go to the next section now. Let me take that one off. All right. The next section is vacations, hotels, and big events that we thought were fancy back then. What vacation destination felt fancy when you were younger? Angela says, for the last question. One in one hand, LOL. I don't get it. We don't get it. We don't get it, Angela. I think we're tired right now a little bit. All right. What vacation destination felt fancy when you were younger? Well, when I was young, my mom and stepdad took us to Disneyland, and we went cross country, across the whole country to go to Disneyland. That felt pretty fancy. And they brought a babysitter. They were pretty smart because they wanted to go out, so they would bring a babysitter. So she was thinking it was pretty fancy too. She got to go to Disneyland and keep an eye on me and my sister, so that was good. Sharon says, I just never cared about fancy. Yeah, I mean, we didn't either, but sometimes you recognized when things were fancy. You said we don't always get what we want. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, I gotcha. All right. Yeah. All right. Any fancy vacation destination?
Probably same thing, Disney.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. How about this one? Who remembers staying at Howard Johnson's or Holiday Inns with the pool?
Yeah. We were Holiday Inn people.
Angela says we never really did vacation. You know what? It would depend. When my mom was married, because she was married 3 times, and when she was married, we would do vacations. When she was not married and we were poor, we did not do vacations. All right. Sharon says Holiday Inn Deluxe. Oh, what does that mean? I don't know about the Deluxe. I know what the Express is. It's supposed to make you feel smart if you stay at a Holiday Inn Express, but is it Deluxe mean it has the pool? Sharon says, I thought that was the only motel. Oh, it was Holiday Inn? Yeah. I mean, I saw the Howard Johnson's. I actually stayed one time in Howard Johnson's when I went to Boston. Boston, we stayed at Howard Johnson's. Sharon says no deluxe. Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. Next question. Did anyone have a dream vacation back then that just didn't live up to the hype? Did you have any?
Yeah, I can say I did.
Okay.
We had a school trip
Okay.
to we were gonna go help people rebuild. I don't even remember what it was in Mexico.
Oh.
And there was a hurricane.
Oh.
And we all about drowned because
what?
It was bad, man. It was bad. They just didn't know there was a hurricane coming, and neither did we. And that was in the like mid 70s.
Wow.
It was bad.
That's not good. Angela says, OMG, Howard Johnson's. One time me and my sister were working and we had a blizzard. My sister picked me up from work and we ended up staying the night at Howard Johnson's. We barely made it there. Wow. And then she says, we never would have made it home. Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad it was there for you. I mean, blizzards are bad. I was in Illinois in the blizzard of 79. It was really bad. I was taking driver's education then. That was terrible. Yeah. Okay. The dream vacation that didn't live up to the hype. I think for me, mine was probably in the 90s when I did my very first cruise. My first husband and I won a cruise, which is all bullshit if you've ever had won one. Basically, you win one and you have to pay a bunch of fees to get it, and then you have to pay a airline to get there. So it costs us this free cruise that we won cost us about $800 altogether, which is not that bad, but our stateroom was an inside stateroom, and it was the size of a closet. I mean, when the bed was out, like during the day, there was like a booth Okay.
Uh,
And then at night they would put the booth down and the bed would be there. And the room was the width of a freaking queen size bed.
wow.
And we had to just dive into the bed from the end. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Did it have its own bathroom?
It did have a private bathroom,
Wow.
but you could not like have a meal and like somebody couldn't eat a meal and somebody take a nap at the same time. You either had the bed or you had the table booth.
Wow. Wow.
So let's see. Angela says, I've never been on a real cruise. I've been on a Navy ship though. Yeah. Well, you should try it. You should try it. It's pretty fun.
It is a lot of
Jim
fun.
and I have been on a lot of cruises. It's changed a lot over the years, and we haven't been since COVID. I don't know how it would be. It would be now, but we've had a lot of fun, and they've gotten it right. They've figured out how to do it.
I can only imagine, Tony.
Tony says Disney World around July 4th was worst idea ever. Way too crowded with lines so long. I can imagine that would be not a very fun vacation. All right. What was the first fancy hotel or event you ever went to? Did you ever do anything fancy? I'll tell you where mine was. It was the Sheraton Harbor Island in San Diego. It was the first fancy hotel I ever stayed at, and it blew my mind. It was so fancy to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think mine was I worked.
And Jim's fancy. Jim's fancy now.
I worked as a volunteer for the Reagan administration.
Okay.
And the winning deal was at the Hyatt downtown in downtown Houston.
Oh, okay.
So that was a big time.
Okay. That sounds big time. All right, Angela says, I caught a train in Germany and stayed in a hotel where I did some weekend shopping. I've never been to Germany. That sounds really fun. That sounds really fun. All right. Any other answers? Anybody else want to talk about the first fancy hotel or event they ever went to? All right. Now we'll get into. And if you have an answer, just put it in there. We'll go back. What kind of travel feels luxurious now, even if it's just peace and quiet, and even if it's not fancy in terms of, I mean, fancy to me doesn't always mean money. It just means it's like a feeling of, I mean, you can do fancy at home.
Yeah.
Jim and I have done some staycations, just staying home, and we can make it fancy with nice music and just setting the tone, and make a plan what we're going to do and do stuff in town. And, there's plenty of stuff for us to do here in Phoenix. So we don't always have to go and do something and spend money to make it feel fancy or luxurious or whatever now. Don't you think?
Yeah. I think some of our best times have been going to concerts.
Yeah.
And then.
But now it's so expensive.
Oh, I know.
I mean, we've gone to some that were, bands that were cover bands of other bands. Like we went to, what was it called? The Eagles cover band here in Phoenix. The Long Run, I think, is what they're called. And that was really, really fun. It didn't cost a ton of money either. Angela says, just driving feels nice. No radio, just me with my thoughts. I agree. I love that. I love that. Sharon said, concerts were my thing. What kind of concerts did you like to go to, Sharon? Because we've seen a bunch. And she says, oh, I love that Long Run album. Yeah, it was really good. And this cover band, we saw them we've seen them twice. We've seen them both times at a dinner theater.
Yeah.
And so it was not super cheap. I want to say maybe it was $30 or $40 a person, and it included dinner.
Yeah.
So yes, it was not cheap, but it was a lot cheaper than going to see the Eagles, which would probably be about $300 a ticket right now.
Yeah.
Soft rock, yeah, we like that too. Sharon says, my husband saw them, but I haven't. Yeah. I mean, and nowadays it's like it's so expensive. It's so expensive to go to a concert. Jim and I wanted to go to Eric Clapton when he was here, but it was like $300 a
Yeah.
ticket. And I mean, when we were kids, we could go to concerts for like $18 and
Right.
anybody could go. Tony says we went to Barbados in April. Great snorkeling. Oh, that's
That's
nice.
awesome.
That's nice. I've not been there. We've been to a lot. We've been to Bermuda. We've been to Bahamas. We've been to Jamaica. We've been to a lot of places, but we've never been to Barbados. And a lot of those were on for us were on cruises. Did you go to like a all inclusive resort or just to a hotel there, or was it a cruise stop off? What was the scenario? Sharon says Moody Blue, Steve Miller, yes, and lots more. Yeah, Jim and I have seen Steve Miller Band with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts in Laughlin, Nevada, and we saw Yes here in Phoenix, and that one wasn't super expensive compared to others. I mean, we were kind of in a faraway seat, but we didn't care, and it wasn't too much. I want to say 30 or 40, something like that. Wasn't too bad. All right. What's something that used to impress you but doesn't impress you anymore? Hey, Scoo. So nice to see you. Well, Jim is putting your name in the mug. Sharon says one of my favorites was Yes. Yeah, I agree. We saw them with the because it wasn't that long ago. 6 or 7 years ago, we saw them, and it was trying to think. It wasn't the original singer for the original lead singer for them. All right, let's see here.
Thanks, Angela.
Angela says, "Men." What's the context? I missed it.
What used to impress you but doesn't anymore?
You're so funny. Scoo says the things that used to impress me. That's a tough question. It is a tough question, Angela. Yes, Angela, we love it. You always bring the wise ass energy that we need in the group, so we appreciate you being here. She says, "LOL." That's funny. All right, Scoo says, every time I see someone driving a fancy new car, I think they're probably in debt. No lie. I see that. And I mean, our cars, we don't drive new cars. I mean, it just doesn't even make sense to us to do that. Oh, Angela, wise ass of the week.
Good try. Good try.
Oh, hang on. We'll go over here. She can.
Yep, she can get that. Yep, give her the alert.
We're going to give you that, and we're going to give you. Hang on, we're not that coordinated here. We do have some sounds. We'll give you. All right, that's the best we can do right there. We do not have a wise ass alert yet. Scoo says, LOL. Angela says, Grump ass's sister. Yes. And Scoo says, oh, fun sound effects. Yeah, we're trying to figure this out. Sharon says that was cute. Yeah, we're trying to figure this out to make it good for you guys. Make it fun. Not know if we're always very successful. We try. Okay. What's something that used to impress you but doesn't anymore? All right. We've heard from wise ass Angela. We know her answer. Let's see.
I think I'm tearing up.
I know. Let's see. I want to see if there was one that I missed. Oh, yeah. And Scoo said with the fancy new car. Yeah, that's just crazy, especially when you see people with, $700 car payments. I mean, if you can afford it, more power to you. I'm not judging, but I wouldn't do it. Even if I could, I wouldn't do it. I just think that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What feels luxurious today that costs nothing? Oh, look at that. We went over an hour. This is our longest one we've ever done. Well, we're getting close. We're getting close to the end. What feels luxurious to you today that costs nothing? For me, a nice, long, soaking bath. I love that. Put some music on and just go and soak in the tub. That helps me to change the channel in my brain and relax and not be so intense.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like that. Sharon says, I was going to say a bath. Yeah. And I agree with what Angela said earlier, taking a drive in the car. That's really nice. And you and I used to do that.
Yeah.
And we should do that more. Yeah. Scu says, allowing yourself to relax is very luxurious and it often can be a choice. I agree. It is a choice. I mean, I think at this point and at this age for us, we have to start thinking about that and taking care of ourselves. Scu says, going for a walk. Yep. Yep. Well, and I know for us, I mean, we do things that are very affordable, that feel luxurious to us. And Jim and I really like getting a deal. So when we're done with this live stream, we will be going to Taco Tuesday at Filiberto's for $1 tacos that are delicious. And for both of us, we can eat for less than $10.
Yeah. No doubt.
Angela says, yes, definitely taking care of ourselves. I mean, we definitely, I think our generation was not very good at doing that. I think that we always had to be the ones that could be counted on.
Yeah.
You know, with our siblings. I was telling Jim the other day, it's like, it's taken me until recently to really think about it. Like, I remember when my mom went to work and I was watching my sister, and I was in 5th grade and she was in second grade all summer. That's a lot of stress.
Wow.
I think our whole generation was like that. We took on a lot of responsibility and we didn't ever really get to relax. So I think it's important for us too. And I know for a lot of the guys, they had the same kind of things, the same kind of responsibilities at a young age. So, all right, let's see what the next one is. We're just about to the end. Oh, here we go. Dawn says, taking a ride to the Maine coast. That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. I love Maine. I would live there if I could ever get Jim to move there. I would live there. I loved it. Okay. What's a modern luxury that actually annoys you? Designer coffee, smart appliances. That's annoying. I think one of the things that annoys me the most is that I sometimes feel like I can't go out of the house without my phone.
I know.
Just like Angela said, cell phone, because I feel like I'm going to get lost. I lived my whole life without a phone and I didn't, if I got lost, I figured it out, right?
Yeah. I mean, our society has become so dependent on our phones.
I know.
It's terrible.
I know.
Absolutely terrible.
Angela says cell phone, LOL. I mean, it is an annoyance. I mean, we've become kind of dependent on it, and I think it's ridiculous. Scu says, smart stuff. Exactly. Our thermostat keeps changing itself to 62 Fahrenheit. Who wants that?
Pick me, pick me.
We like the cold, Scu. We love the cold, but I get it. I mean, honestly, I used to love the cold more than I now I just have a range that's the sweet spot. If I get out of that range, too cold or too hot, I'm a grump ass. So
At night, Scu, at night. Not during the day, but at night, so you can put on an extra blanket. There's nothing better.
Dawn says, don't come now. It's cold. I like the cold. I'm from Illinois. I like the cold, though. To go outside, I know how to dress for it. Angela, oh, hey, I just want to say that I really enjoyed your DoorDash video. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We had fun. We had fun doing the DoorDash. And And we made that big $35.75.
Oh, yeah, it was an experience.
Sharon says, me. And what was she saying me to? I can't remember. Let me look back. I can't remember. Oh, and Scoo says 62. LOL. Yeah, that might be pushing it a little bit cold. I mean, we've kept it at 68 at night for us to sleep. So yeah.
You know, like today it was 85 again, so we still are running the
Yeah.
air conditioner.
We are. Scoo says, okay, gotcha. Yes, Angela, the DoorDash video was interesting. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Scoo. Well, and I saw that today they deposited our money in to the ACH. But then it says it'll hit in 3 or 4 days. So, oh no.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought we paid the $1.99.
We didn't pay the $1.99. I was too cheap to pay the $1.99. So we'll see. We'll let everybody know when it hits.
Yeah.
When it hits our account. Okay. Next question. Have we all gotten too spoiled, or are we just wiser? I think it's a combination. I think there are some things that I'm spoiled about.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, we're spoiled that we know we can go out and get dinner for $8.32 tonight.
Right.
But we could also cook something too. So
right. Angela says, Scoo, if I had a friend here, I would love to try that out. Yeah, I wouldn't do it by myself, the DoorDash. I agree with you, Angela. I think it's good to have somebody if you're a woman.
Well, I can tell you, if you're going to try it, make sure you carry a flashlight.
Right.
It's very difficult to find these houses sometimes, especially like I have tinted windows, and man, I had to roll the windows down trying to see the address.
That was terrible. Tony says, I spoiled my wife a long time ago. LOL. Oh, that's nice.
That is nice.
That's nice. We like seeing that. It gives us hope for Angela that she doesn't think all men are bad.
Yeah, man.
All right. Scoo says, spoiled or maybe more impatient. I think it's probably both. And I think and not maybe just yeah, exactly. Angela says entitled. I think there's that too. And I think there's just direct. I think a lot of times we're just very direct, and I think that offends some people, younger people, where I think we just get to the damn point.
Right.
And we just say what's on our mind. And I think for a lot of young people, they don't like that. They like the dancing around and not hurting anybody's feelings. And that's just not our generation.
No.
And I think it won't be theirs either when they're older. I think, I think we all started out, and I think we go through this trajectory. And, you see young people and they feel like that nobody ever understands how they feel. We all understood how that was back in the day. We thought our parents didn't understand us too. And,
but this too will pass.
Yeah. And Scoo says, oh yes, we are direct. It saves time. I agree.
It does. Absolutely. It does.
I agree. I mean, I think that's one thing that's good for our marriage. I can say for Jim and I is that we're both very direct and open, but not in a hurtful way, but like he never has to worry if I'm mad at him. Like I don't play little games. I just tell him, I didn't like when you did that, and stop it or whatever. And that's the end of it. I don't pout and wait for him to ask me what's wrong. I don't do any of that. So I think that comes with age too, just being more direct.
Yep.
All right. And our last question of the night. What's your personal definition of fancy now that you're unretired AF? Personal definition of fancy. Freedom. I mean, the freedom to do what I want with my time, and that's fancy to me, because I see a lot of people who don't have that luxury, and it truly is a luxury.
It is.
To have that freedom to choose what I want to do with my time.
I think I can I use my age sometimes to be more blunt than I used to be when I was younger, because the old guy can get away with that,
Right. Right.
and I use that to my advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
definitely freedom. I mean, definitely freedom.
Angela says, having the money to do what I want. That's
Yeah.
really that's really good too. Because I don't know how everybody else is in here, but I didn't make really good money until I was older, until I made decent money with my job. And it's nice. It's nice. It does buy you freedom and options. And if
Yep.
you're wise with it, like I still live like I'm poor, even though I'm not poor anymore. So I think that's helped us. I vote for freedom too, says Sharon.
I
Yeah.
like what look at the school. So
Oh, I didn't see that. Wearing something nicer than a t-shirt, LOL. Hey! No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I don't wear t-shirts all the time either. And Dawn says, I agree, Angela. And Angela said, having the money to do what you want. And money is freedom. I mean, you can lump them together. Money is freedom. And we're not talking about buying and spending on fancy things.
no.
Because Jim and I don't. We don't. And we have a very good friend who is extremely wealthy. And you wouldn't know it if you ever met him. He drives these smoker cars that are barely hanging on, driving down the road. And he buys all kind of shitty stuff that we think is shitty. Like we went to a fancy event that we paid a lot of money for. I'll just tell you this quick story. And Angela may know, we went to the Star Pass Marriott because we used to go there every New Year's Eve. That was our big splurge of the year. And we would drive. We wouldn't have to fly to go to it. And it would be at this jazz festival that Rick Braun put on, if you're familiar with who he is. And it's fancy. They had a fancy night. So I would look up stuff and I would go on Poshmark and get a dress that would be great. Jim rented a kilt because
I went in full Scottish attire.
Scottish kilt because that's what we like to do. And so our friend came, and this guy is loaded. He borrowed his dad's tuxedo that didn't fit him. Wasn't that what he did? He borrowed his dad's.
And he's a bodybuilder. And he's tall. He's like 6'5".
It looked so funny. We were
And
laughing.
he was
our
wearing
ass off.
high waters.
He could afford to rent a tux.
The sleeves were high. We gave him so much shit all night.
And
but
you know
what?
And he wore a necklace that flashed.
He didn't even care.
He didn't care.
He didn't care.
I
love him for that.
He didn't care.
I mean, he is his own man.
He is his own man, and I really respect him. The fact that he's self-made, and every penny's a prisoner.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're the same. I mean, Jim and I, we love to get a deal. It's a contest.
It is.
It is a contest.
It is, absolutely.
Well, that is the end of our questions for you guys, and we have really enjoyed it. If you guys have any suggestions for topics for our live stream, I would love it.
Yeah,
that'd be really, really great. And questions, topics, and questions. Just feel free to post them here in the comments, and I can get them. Or if you want to send us an email, you can send it to unretiredafpodcast@gmail.com. And we would love to hear from you. All right.
All right. Shake it up.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're drawing tonight. Okay. Yep. So the winner for the month, I almost forgot about this. You would have been ripped off if it was up to me, because I just didn't even remember it. Thank Jim that he remembered. We're going to really shake it up. So everybody's
shake it up, baby.
Hey, don't do that. We will get a copyright strike from YouTube.
Holy smoly.
You can't do that. Even singing. All right. Oh, you want to say it?
And you won.
And you won. You won. All right. So what you need to do, and is you need to go to our website, which I will put a banner up for that. So you can go check out our merch. See what we have there. It's unretiredaf.com. Check it out. And once you figure out what you want, send us an email to unretiredafpodcast all together.
What mug you want?
I'm just going to tell her that.
Okay.
Send us an email to unretiredafpodcast@gmail.com and let us know which mug you want. You can have any one you want. So.
And they'll drop ship it and it'll go directly to you.
Yeah. And Scoo says, yay, Angela. Tony, congrats, Ange. Donna says, congratulations, Angela.
Thank you all very much for your support. We really
appreciate you guys.
You know, we don't know if we're doing good or bad. We're having fun doing it.
We're doing our best.
I hope you guys are enjoying it and it's not too cheesy. But thank you. Thank you very, very much.
We really appreciate it. All right. We'll see you next time. Did you get that email address, Angela? I'll type it out here too. Oops, it's not right.
What happened to our R?
I don't know. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Dawn says, I think you're doing great. Thank you. All right. And here is the email address, unretiredafpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to send us something, letting us know, send us an email and let us know which mug you'd like from the selection of mugs that we have in our store. All right. I didn't see if she got it. Okay. Well, if you didn't, Ange, just let us know. We'll see you. I'm sure we'll see you in the comments in the next few days. So just let us know.
Have a great rest of the week, guys.
Talk to you soon. Bye now.
Bye.